What is passion for climbing starts in Jaca. In a bookstore one morning of Easter, I think it's from the year 80. I saw a book by a French mountaineer that was called On Ice and Snow and Rock, and the cover is spectacular because there are hanging mountaineer of a roof in the Alps. And then I bought the book. It caught my attention, I bought it. I looked at these, and I understood that what I wanted to do was not walking in the mountains, but to climb the mountains, which are two quite different things. Yes, the truth is that good. Then by a series of professional motives linked to the mountain, I have traveled, I think, practically all the world. From the jungles of Indonesia, Antarctica, Alaska, Russia, I don't know, everything. And you realize that we have a territory that is nothing to envy to any other. If I had now, after to travel all over the world, if I had to choose a place to live, I would live in Aragon. That I have no doubt about, because we have it all. We have scenery, good people, space, mountains, rivers, forests, we have everything. Whereupon being Aragonese is a source of pride for me, and even more so in a country of mountains. It is a country, it is a territory, Aragon, mountainous. And a territory within a mountainous country such as Spain, which is the second country most mountainous in Europe. So, I'm very proud to be able to live here, to have at hand the mountains and being of this land. There is one that is spectacular. The Midi d'Asso, that are on the French side of the Pyrenees. But well, the Pyrenees is a unit of geomorphological, so no understands borders. That's the best area to do climbing all over the Pyrenees. Then, as well as large mountain, I would keep with the Pocex as a mountain, especially because it is very lonely and I like the mountains, and it is a high mountain, the second highest altitude in the Pyrenees, and it is a Gistains valley in which he has been a bit transformed. And I don't know, you sit there just the same than when I was 12 years old. I have not seen transformation and I like that. And then I would also stay with the Tozal del Malo. Is in Ordesa, that separation of Ordesa, of 400 meters, where we have climbed since we were little, and climbing adventures take place there extraordinary. I think they are the three icons of the Pyrenees, and where I've been most often, I'm sure. All of them. Look, it was in 2001 and I already had experience of 8,000ers, had not climbed any summits, but I had been to Kanchenjunga, which is the third height of the earth. He had been to Everest also on the north side and had reached very high in all of them, but weather will always had backed out. I had been to Broad Peak and the first summit was K2. I remember it very well because I think that it was the perfect expedition. From there's always been a problem or something, but this one I don't know why, came out perfect. We were 4 friends from here who we knew a lot about a difficult mountain. We were practically alone with another expedition alone, and we had to work hard, but in the end we got the reward of a mythical peak. So I keep a souvenir for him, and also I think particularly the K2 is perhaps the most beautiful mountain that exists of all the mountains. It's a perfect shape, vertical walls, a spectacular setting surrounded by glaciers up to 100 kilometers. It is an extraordinary place and it is a difficult mountain. But I keep a very good memory because first we had a great time. Second, we got the summit, and third, enjoy a mountain, as I believe there are few in the world. Well, Aragonese mountaineering, I think, which is currently very well endowed, and as far as rock climbing is concerned, sport climbing, difficult climbing also. In terms of climbing in large mountains, that's where I'm a bit lame. I don't think there is not much generational change. Maybe I'm one of the last ones who a generation in which we didn't mind not spending 2 months away of home. A mountain living conditions a little more difficult. And I think that now young people don't is in the mood. I think they want things more immediately. We are in a period as of more immediacy. I want to do one thing, but I want it to be quick. I don't have the patience to be training 4 months, then 2 months there and move around, go through hardship. Fortunately I have a colleague from Aragon who is, and that this year I've been able to go out with him, and I can see that he is what it takes and that he can doing things in the high mountain world, and with him I will continue to do projects of this coming year. We will go out together. And he is an extraordinary boy from Monzón, and the truth is that I think it's one of the relays of the few relays. Because I'm telling you, it's not easy to find people willing to do anything. What does it mean to do an expedition? All the hardship it entails. Look, mountain books, for example, I haven't read many of them because being so immersed in the mountain, that is, spend almost 6 months of my life a year there, the truth is that I feel like disconnecting and I think it's good then. But that book, On Ice and Snow and Rock of a French mountaineer already deceased, Gaston Rebuffet, is one of the ones that marked, because it is a book of the old ones, a book where he talks about sleep, of the effort to go little by little, of acquiring skills, to go dreaming, to go progressively acquiring and giving you more difficult challenges. It is a background book, a book of those of yesteryear that doesn't search, let's say, the refined technique, but more the spiritual technique of moving forward, of feeling good about yourself. And I'm from that old school. I've never taken a training session directed or anything like that, but I have always been guided by sensations, by feeling, for the experiences and for the dreams. I come from a time of dreamers of the mountains, of those people who dreamed with putting your feet where you once put them, the eyes, as Gaston Rebuffet says. And in the end, for that way there is, you have to prepare very well and you know how to do it. So I think it's changed now everything a little bit, but it is true that in the terrain of high difficulty, and that is our taking steps that they used to take, we thought that they were impossible. Well, art and sport I think that are related, because if you look at it, the mountains we like to climb the most and the mountains that most attract us are the most beautiful mountains. In the background, a climber, what you're looking for are those pure lines, beautiful, those impossible, sharp edges, those vertical or collapsed walls. In the background, what attracts us most to a mountain, it's no longer just the difficulty, but also the beauty of that mountain. So there is a lot of art in the mountains and their surroundings, the glaciers, the surrounding forests. In the Himalayas, for example, all those huge valleys that are developed from a mountain and that sink into the depths are plastically very beautiful. And the views from the aerial view, from a mountaintop, is something spectacular, something that you would stay there watching for hours. I think the beauty of the mountains is something not to be despised. And it used to be highly valued, beautiful lines, pure lines, lines that are spectacular, that are attractive. That's what climbers are looking for.